Hey guys, it's me, the Partisan Benjamin, and welcome back to WarLight. This is another game that I played. We play on this map, the Rise of Rome. It essentially shows Europe when, the Roman Republic was being founded, and areas are grouped under how the Romans grouped them. For example, Magna Germania, Magna Britannica, Gallia, and who won't forget, Roma. So basically, this is an open game, a 2v2. Playing on my side, as you can see here, is Boki WARRIORS, while on team B will be Malum Elite and Edwin. My teammate Boki starts in Magna Germania. Malum Elite starts mainly in Magna Britannica with the extension of Carthage, while Edwin and me both starts in Parthia. So basically, this match will show several mistakes that both me and my opponents made. So basically, the first thing that's gonna happen is several early captures of territories, and he over fortifying Aquila. As you can see, at the early count, Magnum Elite will have the advantage, but eventually so basically, B and Edwin are vying for supremacy. Okay, I'm just going to show you turn by turn. There are 26 turns. On the first turn, I have the advantage. I have an advantage over Edwin, but he has dangerous amount of armies in Aquila. My ally has gained Germanica, while Magnum has gained Hiberna and is starting to move towards. Within the next turn, my ally Boki is the strongest man in the field. Edwin has the same amount of armies as I did due to the capture of Mesopotamia Inferior. He had tried to attack. Eventually, you'll see a match crash, a scramble in Parthia. No new captures other than Germanica Inferior for my ally and Magnum. By the next turn, I had captured Babylonia, and by this I have a slight advantage over Edwin, but he has a huge army on the field at Dura, which will prove to me in my undoing soon. Boki has a huge advantage over Magnum in the early game, as he had captured Magna Germanica. This is a big early bonus. You will realize this will decide the game in the end. By next turn, Edwin successfully played it against me. I have higher income, but he has more armies on the field, and you'll see I will be unable to defend myself later. In the meantime, Magnum has managed to capture Numidia, Corsica, but is unable to get Magna Britannica due to an early landing by Boki, which has also expanded south into Gallia too. Next turn, Boki is completely destroying Magnum in the north. He is being pinned down, very few advances in the south. While in the meantime, Edwin and I have the same amount, but he has captured Satisfon, which puts many of my bonuses into massive danger. I'll be unable to recoup. Next turn I'll get Anthropatine. I lose Babylonia, but even though I have more income, he has more armies on the field, and I have more territories and bonuses to defend. Meantime, my ally Boki is still the strongest warrior. Magnum is catching up, but not fast enough. He has captured Sardinia, while my ally has captured Belgica Superior and is still holding on to Caledonia Inferior. He has captured Noricum as well. Sooner or later you realize that even though I was the first one to be I won't spoil it for you yet. Now I am the weakest player in the field. Edwin has successfully captured Babylonia while he has destroyed Atropone, which effectively this is a moment where I know I have lost the so-called civil war in Parthia, since both of our territories are only located in the bonus of Parthia, and you can see as more armies on field. I will eventually lose because of this. Meantime, my ally Boki is destroying Magnum. He has successfully pushed down to Vespania and will capture Caledonia very soon. Until you can see Vespania falls, he lands in Darimo. This proves to be a good point for my ally because although he has lost a territory, he does not have Caledonia bonus yet, so he actually loses no armies while his opponent loses 3 armies a turn, and this will eventually cripple him 30 to 23. If you're wondering where the extra armies came from, it's from Mauritania. And at this point I would give up because the only strong bonuses I had at this point were Alberni and Mesopotamia, while my opponent has Mesopotamia Inferior, Babylonia and Satisfon. He has more armies on the field than I did. Next turn, I have recaptured Atropone. I have lost Abidan, but I still have Mesopotamia Superior. At this point, we have successfully changed our positions, and for whatever time I am left in the game, I was successfully able to prevent Edwin from expanding out, which would have proved crucial in the end game. And by this point, my ally has lost his foothold in Caledonia Inferior, but he had landed in Lantinia, which brings even more damage to my opponent's income. As you can see, this is turning out to be very one-sided, with Boki being 10 stronger than his opponent. Okay, next, I'm going to show you guys what happened this turn, and show you my epic failure to survive or my ally's success. So basically, what I meant is even though I was eventually so-called useless, I was able to trap Edwin long enough for him not to capture any major bonuses, hence allowing my ally to successfully majorly destroy my opponents. When I eventually Atropone, as you'll see, my ally was able to use his huge advantage both in armies deployed and in armies on the field. But as you can see, I'm slowly losing in Parthia. Okay, and my ally is successfully destroying Magna Britannica. Once my ally, as you'll see, my ally will gain Magna Britannica, and this will turn out to be a very one-sided game. Adrobane has fallen to my opponent. And Hibernia, which is Ireland, is slowly falling towards Boki. And this is the next turn. By now I am reduced to 13. I have the same amount of armies per turn as Edwin, but as you can see, he has more armies on the field. By now my opponent was doomed. As in, not Edwin. Edwin would defeat me, but Malum was doomed. Magna Britannica has more or less fallen to my ally. Okay, by this turn end, he was really, you can see his focus he probably knew that Magna Britannica and his northern territories were lost hope, but Edwin, I successfully kept Edwin in for another turn. Next turn you can see I lost Drobone, and this just gave away my game as a whole. I was unable to respond to any further attacks by Edwin, while my ally had successfully captured Magna Britannica. As you can see, his income alone outnumbered both of my opponents. He had captured Rhaetia, Norca, but what swung heavily to his favor, he had both Magna Britannica and Magna Germania, while neither of my opponent had super bonus due to my target defending in Parthia, and Magna's focus on Magna Britannica did not allow him to get Magna Africa, which is actually quite huge, or Magna Italica, which he can't now because of Boki. By now I was just searching for a way out. I was just attempting to survive and play a bit of a rearguard action. As you can see, Parthia is my Parthian resistance is crumbling, and my opponent was, as in, Magnum lost it for his, Boki really won it at this point. He had an overwhelming numerical advantage, even though I was unable to help him now. He had captured Edrubone, and as you can see, he has 17 while I have 9. But I had held him off long enough for Boki to have a huge advantage. 50 now. All my opponents add up together is roughly 40. By now I am reduced to 7 armies per turn, and this will get even lower if I'm correct. In the meantime, Boki is just steamrolling over Gallia. Superior numbers really come into play at this point. He could afford to lose those 4 armies. He has still further reinforcements from Magna Britannica. He has captured this Gallic province, and he has effectively crushed all of Malum's northern territories. At this point, Parthia is a lost cause for me. Actually, I am a lost cause for my team, but I knew surviving would be better because then I was able to put up at least some sort of resistance. And now Malum just threw his troops away. He shouldn't have attacked at all. You see, now Malum has lost all his northern provinces, and the south wouldn't help him much now, considering that he had effectively surrendered Gallia to Boki. If you're wondering, this is a post-match commentary, hence there is a history bar and there is no fog, even though this game was played with normal fog. He failed advances from my opponent, which is down to bad luck. At this point, Parthia is a lost cause to me. My opponent has effective hold over Parthia, while Gallia is more or less under Boki's control with a few southern territories. Mostly, if not all, within a striking distance. You see by now army count 59 to 24 plus 19. I'm not including myself. Gallia is really within striking distance now. He's expanding into Illyricum. Alright guys, if you're wondering how to access all these battles that once fought but you realize you couldn't access them, they're actually viewable. You go to profile, favorite games, change it, select the game you want to watch, add it to favorite, then you click the link, and so on and so forth. Now I'm just attempting to get Cappadocia, which I knew I wouldn't, so I gave up on that hope. In the meantime, my ally should get Gallia distant. As you can see, it's really one-sided at this point. Both battles are one-sided. I am definitely not going to be able to hold against Edwin. He has finally captured Parthia, but the time that has taken him to get this, if I didn't put out a resistance, maybe he have gotten so strong that later game he will already have gotten Magna Macedonia while facing the might of Boki. But I have delayed him long enough. And also, if I'm correct, Gallia should fall this turn. He's moving towards Armenia. And another contact point would be made as the massively stronger Boki comes into contact with Malum. Oh well, yes, first contact once again. Gallia has fallen, and look at the army count at this point, 77 to 29. Malum has no hope of resisting. He's not even close, leaving Boki free to expand for the Barbarian Chieftain bonus and Illyricum. Effectively, Malum's last hope was actually he could get Magna Italica, but by now it's long gone. He was stopped at Ligura. Effectively, he was kept within Italy. Boki has successfully expanded into Hispania. Basically, by now I'm just gonna show you turn by turn. There isn't much to watch with me fleeing. At this point, it was GG for me. I had come into contact with Malum in Alexandria, I was hoping to enter Alexandria, then move to Creta. But apparently, no hope, no luck for me. 83 to 33, you can see Malum's just going to get owned. And one turn, my northern territories are crushed, as Edwin was about to get the Parthian Empire very soon, and my last territory was in Petra. I'm going to play next time because it's when I was eliminated. But you can see by army count, this game was already decided. 90 armies towards 70 armies, and one side's army is gonna go up, the other is just going to go down. Malum is going to try and resist to try and maintain Magna Africa bonus, but you can see that's not going to happen for anytime soon. But I think he will have the bonus for a short moment in time. Edwin is focusing on both the north and on the Parthian Empire bonus, while Malum is just trying to organize his troops as Italy falls towards Boki. Boki is just eating up Italia, while Malum is about to get Magna Africa. See, Malum finally gets Magna Africa, and by this he still had half the army count of Boki, no resistance possible, and Edwin was too far from the front. Meantime, all the while Hispania was being conquered by Boki, and Illyricum was being conquered by Boki. No end of this siege in sight. At this point I was eliminated, which was a long time coming by Boki. Me and Boki had already discussed about this, and we both knew that even if he was alone, he would win. At this point I was relegated to an advisor, which I did with quite stunning results. I advised him to went for Illyricum and Barbarian Chieftain, while relegating Magna Italia to a secondary bonus. And also highlighted that they might have the Magna Africa bonus. By this time I'm just gonna show you a turn by turn and the army count. Look at the world map and look at the army count. 105 already to 45 plus 39. This is hopelessly one-sided. Next turn 112. If you're wondering, it should be this. Illyricum is about to fall and the army count is just gonna differentiate. Belarus had fallen, and first contact should be made very soon between Boki and Edwin. Next turn, yes, first contact had been made on 3 different fronts. Boki with 133. Malum was relegated to 30 by now, as he had lost Magna Africa bonus, but Edwin would give Boki a run for his money, even though not much of a run. At this point, 142 to 29 plus 86 combat to 71. If you're wondering what made the huge jump, it was the Magna Asia bonus. And next turn, effectively 148 to 21 plus 84 is being crushed as Mauritius, Numidia, Carthage will be fallen. Here, Boki has Illyricum now, and by next turn I was advising him to go for Sicilia, as that was what was the last bit of Magna Africa, and he almost has Hispania by next turn and almost has Magna Asia. Relatively quite a bit of scrapping, as you can see. Boki for a point had Barbarian Chieftain's bonus, but this was swiftly destroyed by Edwin in return for incursion into Iberia. This was what happened over here. It was going to be a fight in Magna Macedonia too. Next turn, both of my opponents had surrendered, but by then Hispania, Magna Italica, and a lot of other provinces were destroyed. I show you by this point, by the end of the game, it was 200 compared to 16 plus 64. What we can learn from here is that through team battles, sometimes even though you might be alone, you might not necessarily lose, so never give up, never surrender. And also, delaying actions in a game is also very important, as it will prevent the opponent from getting a lot of bonuses. This is the Partisan signing off now, and I'll see you next time. Alright, I'll say good game to all players, Boki, Malum and Edwin. And yes, this is a victory. It is a rank 2v2 open game. You might see me playing WarLight in other open games, and so yeah, see ya.